how and why people choose and how they should choose who does the framing for them. If you bought something, had a photograph of your child, your new child that was just born, you want to put it up on your wall. Now you have the issue of who's going to frame it and how's it going to look. Then I would suggest that you start asking your neighbors and friends if they know any framer. Or look on Google and see what you see in their website. You see what they propose to you, how they appear to you. You should have expectations from your framer. Amongst your expectations should be, are they honest? Are they honorable? Do they have a design sense? Are they going to offer you as many choices as possible and let you be the one who actually chooses what you want and how much you want to spend and how it's going to look? When you come in to the shop, once you've decided if you're going to use somebody local, somebody a little bit more distant, for whatever reason, because the action has to feel simpatico. If you're going to buy yourself a pair of jeans, you're going to go into a store where you're feeling comfortable being in that store. So once you get in the door, is the framing operation, does it look simpatico? Does it look like a warm place to be? So when this fellow comes up to you, does he greet you? Does he say hello? Does he make eye contact with you? Does he then ask you, all right, so what did you bring in for me to look at? Are they being distracted? Is he being distracted by other things going on? So in other words, how much attention is that person focusing on you and your need and your project? If you tell them, I'm bringing in a photograph, I'm just a new parent, blah, 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 and I'd like it framed. So, may I see it, please? Should be the response. Right? Open it up, look at it, and then, having looked at it, say to you, okay, now you have to give me an idea, a little bit about your style. Are you more contemporary in your choices, or have you had thoughts about what you would like this to look like in the end, or are you more conventional in your traditional in your choice, or do you like more old world? At that point, since we're talking about a photograph, this also applies to any work on paper. We then come up to discussing, okay, so how are we going to present it? Your framer should then tell you what are your options. Number one, glass and paper really shouldn't touch. There are multiple reasons for it. Glass changes temperature quickly, paper doesn't. What happens is you have moisture forming. And if there's no air for it to be reabsorbed into, well, it's not going to damage the glass. It's going to mold the paper. It's just inevitable. So then how do you do that? And these are questions that you, as the client, then have to deal with. You have to make conscious choices, because everything that you choose is going to influence the final price you're going to pay. So those are some of the things. Your framer needs to explain to you what you need to do. Do we put a mat on it? Do we not put a mat on it? And if we don't, then do we put in a spacer? I will talk about that shortly. What kind of glass do we use? What kind of frame do we put on it? All of the time showing you things. So if you look, as you see behind me, I've got a couple of thousand frame samples on my wall. You're never going to, it's mind-boggling. But there's never really more than 4 or 5 that'll work with anything that you have. So the framer then has to allow you to begin to make choices, to make eliminations of, no, I don't like that, no, I prefer this. And that's where, and what I was going to say, as soon as they start doing that, the client, begin to see the finished product develop. And that we're going to look at again. So these are things that you should expect from your framer. He should be aware that you're there. He should be focused on your artwork, focused on you as the client. and putting you in situations where you're making choices that define and delimit, that limit what you will be looking at.